Hi, Ruthie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. I think this is the first time we've ever... Well, the weird thing about us is I feel like I know you, and
Yeah.
we've only met a couple of times ever, which is weird.
Yeah, in strange circumstances, too.
You know, I saw you at the airport a couple months ago, and I thought that was the first time we met, but I guess we met with Kelsey about once.
One time in an elevator, not that I have a weird memory about things. I think it was like 2015 at St. Jude's in an elevator with Kelsey.
What were you doing with Kelsey?
I think you were with Kelsey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe so.
Yeah, something like that.
When you said that, I was like, what were you doing with Kelsey? Were you guys doing a little side project? But I guess if I was with Kelsey, that makes sense. Well, it's good to have you on here. I was looking at your Instagram.
Cool.
I'm going to play a couple of these songs first. Let me play Joshua Tree. This is Ruthie Collins.
Will you meet me where a million stars catch fire to the sky? Where the Colorado desert crosses that Mojave line. Will you say my name?
Here's a song called Dang Dallas.
And all you ever wanted was to be your again. I guess
The album is out now. You can stream it. You can even buy it on vinyl. So what is that vinyl process like? Do you have to go somewhere and go, hey, let's make this album on vinyl? And do you have to pay for all that?
You do. I've actually been begging my record label to do vinyl for years, and this time they were just like, hey, so we were thinking it would be a good idea to do vinyl. And I was like, yes, I agree. Great idea. So the process this time was pretty easy for me, I got to say, but I'm thrilled to finally have vinyl.
So you're friends with Natalie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Natalie Stovall. And I think that's how we all kind of are in this circle because Natalie and I are close. But Natalie went to music school in Boston. Is that where you went to? Is that where you guys met?
It is. Yes, we met at Berkeley, and then when I moved to Nashville, I lived with her husband before she did. We were roommates. But that's always our funny story.
So you went to Boston to music school knowing that you wanted to do what? Like, what did you study up there?
I studied songwriting, but if I'm honest with you, it was honestly just because I wasn't good at anything else in life besides music. So I thought, let's give this a shot people where I come from, music is just not like a huge thing there. So I didn't have really big aspirations until I moved to Nashville. It just wasn't something that people did where I was from. So it was sort of just like, let's just see what happens. This seems like a, cool college, and you could major in commercial music. So I thought that was fun, and I met my best friends there. So it was a great experience.
I feel like you're downplaying it a little bit because anybody I know that went to Berkeley, they're super dialed in, music genius. What is it like to have to audition? Like, what's the process like to get into the Berkeley College of Music?
It wasn't that bad. I actually auditioned for Belmont as well, and one of my favorite stories is I got in as a student, but not as a singer. And I have this really sweet little mama bear of a mom, and she apparently called back and asked the vocal director why I didn't get in as a singer, and they said because I had no commercial appeal as a vocalist, which is one of my favorite underdog stories of all time because it's the Mike Curb School of Music, and here I am, a decade later with a record deal with Mike Curb. But so after going through that, Berkeley didn't seem so scary because they were like, we think you're great, and here's a scholarship. So I was like, oh, I'm clearly supposed to go down this path.
So you go to Boston, you move to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the reason you came to Nashville? Was because you love country music or you had friends here? What was that deal?
Yeah, it was more about the songwriting community. All I knew was that I really loved writing songs. That's when I felt, the most alive, and I knew that was like a viable profession here, but still really didn't believe that, record deal and being a performing artist was something that I could actually do until maybe a year after I moved here, and I was on one of those reality shows. I think it was CMT Can You Duet, and all of a sudden I was on a national television show competing for a record deal, and I'm not even kidding you, that is the first time in my life that I was like, oh, maybe I am good enough to do this. So it was kind of a later in life process for me, but it took a lot.
What was that Can You Duet show about?
It was like a duo thing. It was like a show for country duos.
And who did you go on with?
I went on with this girl, Victoria Gibson, and we were both waitresses at the Cheesecake Factory at the time. So it was quite a culture shock to move into the Opryland Hotel, for like 2 months and film, and then get off the show, and sort of everything went back to normal, But it just kind of elevated me a little bit enough in the community that I started getting better right. So then I could kind of have this bigger community open to me to write with, and that's sort of how everything happened for me here.
Was there a point after you graduated college that you moved to San Antonio and worked at a church?
Yeah. The biggest Lutheran church in the country, 10,000 members. That was crazy. But I was sort of writing songs for like pastoral conferences and volunteer stuff, and it was great, but it just wasn't fulfilling me artistically enough. And that's when I was like, I think I'm supposed to be writing songs. I need to go where the people that write songs live.
So you went from Boston to San Antonio, and then how long were you there?
Oh my gosh, not even 6 months.
Oh,
it was like
really?
that pretty quick thing where I was like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing.
All right, so you moved to Nashville. You guys, when you do this show, Wild Honey, was that the name of your duet? I mean,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
did you guys think maybe you'd get out of that show and be Wild Honey for a while?
Yeah, definitely. But, we were really young and we were in different places, and I had kind of been, I'd come up in the music business a little bit through college and been around a lot of people. So I sort of was prepared for like the workload and ready to dig in, and we just were in different places with that.
How far did you guys get on the show?
We came in 6th, season 1.
Was there anyone on that season that ended up having a career in Nashville that we would know?
Oh, yeah. Joey and Rory were on that season with me.
Did they win the show?
I think they came in 3rd or 2nd.
Wow. And the people that won, are they still around?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure they're still doing music because they're insanely talented. But there was a group named Caitlin and Will, and the show had actually put them together. They didn't know each other. So that's always risky, obviously.
Dang. All right, so you kind of hop into Nashville, and you and Natalie Stovall were friends, but you lived with her husband. Did you know him before she did, or?
Yeah, I think we all knew each other at the same time, but he was like, I was dating the keyboard player in Natalie's band in college, so that's how we all became friends, and her husband was living with that guy, so that's sort of how we all came to know each other. So when I needed a place to stay, James was like, got this condo in Green Hills, you're welcome to, come on in. So me and my sister moved in, and thus began my journey in Nashville.
Well,
so it was nice to have a little bit of a community here.
I was watching your Instagram, and I guess you're doing like a tour of your Airstream. That's what that is, right?
Yeah, it's an Airstream. So basically when COVID hit, I went up to be with my mom in New York for a while. She lives on a farm up there. So I put long-term renters in my house because I had no idea how long this would last. And obviously with touring not being viable right now, that was a big help financially. But then when Nashville started reopening, I was like, okay, I think it's time to go home and try to get back on a routine. I obviously never knew where to live, but I had this 1973 Airstream that I had renovated maybe 5 years ago to take on the road with the intent of it being like a VIP performance lounge. So I was like, I'm just going to put a bathroom in there and a shower and put it in my driveway and move into that. And now I've been there for a month and a half, and I love it so much that I might not leave. But I've been doing these online shows from the Airstream.
Wait, do you live in the driveway of the people that you're renting to?
Yep.
And do they care that you're living at the house that you're renting to them?
I mean, I asked them when they were about to sign the lease, and they're like, sounds great. We're really good cooks. Maybe we'll invite you in for dinner. But they have not yet. I'm still waiting.
Do you have a relationship with them? Do you see in their windows? Do they walk around naked in there? What's the deal?
Well, they don't walk around naked, but I did just build an outdoor shower outside the Airstream, so sometimes I feel like they're like, oh, don't go out there. And I'm like, no, there's like shower curtains and a privacy fence, and I'm basically just trying to be like one with nature in my driveway in East Nashville. It's pretty fun.
Are you hippie? Are you farm girl? Because you grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah, all of it.
So all that's pretty normal to you then?
It is, but I do think that that's like something COVID's bringing out in me. You know how like people are getting dogs or having babies, and I think we're all just trying to do whatever we're doing to try to control what we can control. I feel like maybe I'm trying to recreate summer camp, which is my favorite childhood memory, because everything all of a sudden is like nature for me. That seems to be like where I'm finding calmness and peace. So I think that's kind of what I'm doing.
Are you still hosting that DIY show on A&E?
No, I haven't been doing that for a couple years, but that was super fun. I a couple years ago, I just went through this like sort of big spiritual awakening, and I decided to only do things that I felt like 100% aligned with. And if I'm being honest, that's when music really started going better for me. So sort of now I'm just like, if I love it, if it's about music and it's like my purpose and passion in life, that's what I'm focused on. And the design stuff was really fun, but it's more stuff that I think I enjoy just doing for myself.
And that was a whole series though that you just started. If I'm trying to remember this because I remember seeing it on Instagram too. You just started doing videos. And how did that end up elevating to the point where somebody hired you for a show?
Sure. So I just was doing little like DIY things on Instagram, and then got the Airstream, and the label was like, well, we should probably film this process if you're renovating an Airstream to go out, on the road with. So we did a little series for that, just like online, and then they kind of were like, oh, you're actually really good at this hosting thing. Do you want to do it? And I was like, sure, this is fun, so just a little by little. And then it was just something that came through my booking agent. They were looking for, some hosts for this A&E show called Homemade, and I sent in an audition video and got it. And it was really fun. It was honestly very easy compared to the music business. They were like, read this teleprompter. Sorry, this 9-hour day is so long. And I was like, I've literally been sitting in a hair and makeup chair for 2 hours. This is not hard work. Like, please, thank you for the free catering. This is a great life.
I'm going to play a couple more clips here. This is Cold Comfort.
But it's a cold comfort when it doesn't hurt to hear your name, and when I don't wonder if you think of me, you feel the same. I've been letting this love burn.
And here is a song called Bad Woman.
If I was a bad woman, or if I was a bad woman.
Hey, so you're doing some like streaming shows online, right, where people can watch you perform?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll see sometimes, you know, you get that little notification where it's like, mine goes, Ruthie Collins is online live. And sometimes, though, you think you're getting a message and you hit it, and not yours, but I have some friends that go live and they have like 19 followers. And then I feel like I'm stuck watching it for a minute because I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I know. It's so awkward.
Then it's
Especially
awkward.
when people are like, they're just waiting for people to get on. You're
Yeah.
like, I get it. I feel you.
I clicked into one of my friends the other day and he started talking right to me because he saw me get on accident. He's like, hey, Bobby. And I was like, oh, now if I leave, this sucks.
You cannot
Yeah,
leave. Yeah, you better just make some popcorn and sit there.
What are
for a
you
while.
doing on your streaming show?
So basically, I have dug so far deep into the trenches with these virtual shows because obviously everyone and their mom is going live, which is awesome because we're, you know, getting people to stay at home and giving them some entertainment. But I was like, man, I really have to come up with some creative ways to make this different if I'm going to cut through. So I've been doing themed shows every week to encourage repeat, audience members. So I'm doing I think the ones we just announced, Nakia, Carmen, and I are actually doing Christmas in July tomorrow. And then I've got Disney Night, Love from Laurel Canyon, which is going to be like 70s California songs. We're doing Songs from the Desert to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of my song Joshua Tree coming out. So, you know, I've done like movie songs and summertime songs, and then we're selling like Zoom packages so we can like chat with fans afterwards, and they're all pay what you can, so everybody gets to come. But it's just been so fun, and it's honestly been great for me too because I still feel connected to all these people out there, you know, which is, I think we're all a little alone right now. So it's just been so much fun. I don't really want to stop, to be honest with you.
Are you putting up your Venmo or your PayPal, or how is that working for you?
So basically, I still want to be able to be giving free content to everybody. So I'm doing these happy hour lives on Thursday, which I have been doing like the virtual tip jar donation if they want to. But then we also are selling tickets through Eventbrite to the other online shows that I do every Monday. So those are on like a separate streaming platform. But like I said, they're pay what you can. So you pay 50 cents and come to the show.
Ruthie Collins Music on Instagram, but it's spelled R-U-T-H-E. Ruthie. Is that not right?
R-U-T-H-I-E.
Oh, typo on my sheet, Ruthie. Someone's getting fired around here. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
R-U-T-H-I-E, Ruthie Collins Music. Wow, good to talk to you. You can check out Cold Comfort. I hope a lot of people come and, this will go up Friday, so they'll have Mr. Christmas in July. Do you post these afterward or no?
No, but you can always buy a ticket later and watch. So they're available afterwards. But
There you go. Go get your ticket. Pay a nickel or $5,000. What's the most someone has paid? Like, it's pay what you can, but what's the biggest pay that someone's done?
I guess like $200.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes people will pay $100 a ticket, but also like if they buy the after party, package, that like makes it go up. Those are $50.
What in the world?
People have been so supportive, Bobby. I can't even tell you. Like it's amazing. It's just amazing. I think people have really starved for music, and it's definitely brought me closer to my fans during this time. So I'm so thankful for all the support. It's been amazing.
Do you have to send them like a lock of hair or a toenail or something like that?
No, they're literally getting like a song request and a 20-minute Zoom call. And I'm just like, hey, how you doing up there in New Jersey? What'd you have for dinner? Because like I talk to these people all the time now. It's amazing.
All right. Listen, she'll have dinner with you virtually for the right price. That's right. Ruthie Collins Music. Check out Cold Comfort. Ruthie, good to talk to you. Good luck. And
Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it.
Maybe I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Bobby Bones. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and then go check it out. A lot of artists, a lot of songwriters, a lot of music. Welcome to the BobbyCast channel.